Hello, I'm your host, Giselle Gamby, and this is the Intuitive Pull Podcast, where together we'll embrace the plans we did not make yet, unfold businesses and lives that are so much greater in wealth in all ways than any business or life plan could ever achieve. My wish is that you make intuition your most trusted advisor. So, buckle up, get present, and let's go. Happy holidays, Intuitive Pool listeners. It's the 29th of December, 2022. We're about to close the year. And I went for a walk this morning and I received a beautiful piece of writing, which initially was just for me. And I decided to turn it into an episode. Now, this is about my experience this year, not so much from a practical point of view. I will, as I always do, capture the 10 most valuable lessons of the year. I will do that when I'm on holidays in Noosa in January. This was more of a piece of writing that really just moved through me. I was listening to some beautiful music and I was hearing these words, and as I was walking, I was typing them out, as I said, initially just for me, and then I thought, I think I'm going to share it with the listeners, and I imagine it's going to sound like a prayer, and my intention in sharing it with you is that it will activate something within you. More than likely, it will open your heart. More than likely, it will open your heart. And perhaps have you see your year, not so much from a practical perspective, but from how love has been moving through you in 2022. And of course, from that place, we can then go and capture all the tangible consequences of how love has moved through us. Before I do, I want to remind you about the 9-week online meditation program that will begin on the 30th of January. It's like God is playing with me here. Like, this program is not something that I have thought up. It has its own energy. It's moving through me and it won't leave me alone. And it's like it wants me to reach more people and to have them see that the power of meditation isn't just something intangible or ethereal or, up there in the clouds, that the power of meditation has us connect to a source of information that creates more results on the ground with more ease and more power, that ripple far more than if we strategized and planned from the rational mind. It's like God is actually asking me to play a game with you all so that you can see, so that you've got the evidence that I do. I've had the evidence for 20 years in my life, so that more people can see the evidence of how love speaks to us through different activities of meditation, not only always closed eye. So I'm going to put details in the show notes again. I won't take up more time on this episode to speak about that. All that I'll say is, if you're pulled to really go to the next level in terms of your own capacity to connect to beyond this rational mind and to see what happens in your life in tangible form from that place, if you're pulled, go to the show notes. There's an early bird fee that will complete on the 31st of December, and I encourage you to have a look at that. You can enroll directly through the website. I would love to have you there. Thank you for those who have already enrolled. I know it will be epic. If you put your all in, I can promise you the experience and the results that you will have will be epic. So go for your life and check that program out on my website. Details in the show notes. So this is what I heard. Not only what I heard, but what I was saying to myself. It was a mixture of what I was saying to myself and words coming through me as I was walking this morning, and walking in this state of presence is an act of meditation. And I guess what I'm doing here by default is demonstrating what happens when we are in meditation, and it's not always in a closed eye, cross-legged position. So this is what I said to myself and what I heard speak through me on my walk this morning on the 29th of December. Thank you, thank you, thank you for the year I've had. It was indeed a year of overflow. Overflow was the theme of 2022. It chose me at the end of 2021. And so it was indeed a year of overflow, an overflow of intuition that created so many, many ripples beyond what I could ever have anticipated. Rippling in, then rippling out, over here and over there, in places I could not foresee. I thank God every day for my decision to listen, to hear the subtle cues from the heavens, to hear love's whispers and beckoning, and to feel the fire beneath my feet. I thank God every day for my decision to hear the sacred callings of my humanity as I continue to be unearthed, as I continue to acknowledge all that is both in my freedom and what still remains unfree. This here is sacred purpose. This inner unearthing is sacred purpose. Sacred purpose exists within me, firstly. For all that remains unfree are opportunities for the light to ray her beams on my transgressions, where I have believed in an untrue story of who I believe I am. And as these transgressions transform into love, these miracles move from me onto another, and those miracles then move from them onto others, and so on and so on. Ripple, ripple, ripple. Love is the most phenomenal catalyst. It is this that gives me the most joy, the ripples. And sometimes these ripples start from me and move on to others. And sometimes these ripples start from others and move on to me. A perfect and divine symphony, playing love's greatest hits. So much awe and wonder, so much awe and wonder. Thank you, thank you, thank you for the year I've had. I don't come neatly tied with a pretty little bow. It's in these imperfections that I see my beauty. Of course, not always at the time, but always as time passes when I see the symphony playing love's song. How this had to happen over here in me, for this then happening over there in someone else. As I said, so much awe and wonder. It is in this tenderness that I see love's wings. It is in the courage to see what I've been unwilling to see. It is in the vulnerability to speak what has been unspeakable. It is in the decision to turn on the light to what has been hidden in the dark and in the shadows. This year, I have come to know that grace comes in all shapes and sizes. Sometimes grace does the heavy lifting, and sometimes grace is a bitch. And sometimes grace had to be a bitch to bring to light what had been in denial, what had not been seen and felt fully. I thank God every day for my decision to listen. Thank you, thank you, thank you for the year I've had. Momentum certainly serves the committed. We are always committed to something, whether we know that we're committed to it or not. I'm committed to many things. All that I've experienced this year, I was committed to, knowingly or not. Everything that showed up in my life this year, I had made a vow with, again, knowingly or not. And all those vows were made because I'm committed to living a life of no regrets. I've said this before, when I take my last breath, I will be able to say that I am leaving this world with no regrets. That's my commitment and my declaration. Grace supports me in that commitment, undeniably and irrevocably. As I live a life of no regret, I accept my divine assignment that showed itself in Kenya as I whispered to others, "What's your divine assignment?" My divine assignment, at least for now, is to live and be a demonstration of wealth in all ways. I am utterly committed to that. That's no minor, inconsequential assignment. And so my choices will look large sometimes. They will feel uncomfortable to others. They will push and pull and rattle and stretch not only others, but myself. Am I really worthy of that? Is it really my place to? Can I really choose that thing? Am I really enough? My son said to me the other night, "I'm fucking jealous of the joy and freedom you have with your work." That's what I want for him. So yes, I choose to live and be a demonstration of wealth in all ways, because when I do, it gives others not only permission, but the perspective that this reality even exists. I am committed to living and being a demonstration of wealth in all ways. There is radical generosity built into this choice. A wealth of love versus fear. A wealth of connection in me, to me, and others versus judgment, shame, and separation. A wealth of connection to God, the divine, to Source, to the eternal and the infinite, to the vastness of my consciousness, for here everything exists. There is no ceiling, no impossibility, no boundaries of what can and can't happen, no rules that bound my leadership, my expression, my willingness to be of service. Here there is ultimate freedom to follow the intuitive pulls, the callings. Here there is permission to let go of control, to not know how it will all pan out. And this for me is my veritable joy, to be so open to the mystery versus the predictability. This is who I am, and this is the field I welcome others, more than they could possibly imagine, and of course in ways that were never the plans they made. The mystery versus the predictability. It's so much more fun. It is in the plans we didn't make where love exists with emphasis. Love in all of its expressions, and love that is more than we anticipated. This is where the overflow lives. In taking responsibility to free what is not free. In following the intuitive pulls again and again and again, and in the letting go of control. This is overflow in its finest form. And what I didn't know until now, as I write this out, is that in all of that, what I've really been committed to this year is a commitment to an overflow of freedom. Freedom. Where I have been already free, this freedom has rippled into others' worlds. And where I have not been free, miracles have occurred for me. Restorations of love through the beauty of compassion and understanding beyond the stories I've told myself. And there are more restorations of love unfolding within me right now, where I have not been willing to truly see. Most people wind down at the end of the year, yet love has other plans for me, and I welcome them. It has been a blessed year, a year of no regrets, even when life has been challenging. To be in that level of acceptance for all is freedom. Thank you, thank you, thank you for the year I've had. I thank God every day and right here in this moment for my decision to listen.